Mikel, hello. You said to us after last night's game that you wanted to delete the City match and just move on. Is that what you've done with the group today at training? And is there much that you can really learn from last night's performance?
Yes, absolutely. I think emotionally it's very, very difficult to delete it, but it's what we have to do. I think it was a very accidental game right from the start when we lost Granny Destroy away, losing Pablo, and then the way we conceded the first and the second goal, and against this type of opposition, obviously this makes life almost impossible. But yeah, there are things to learn, obviously, that we cannot not consider to keep evolving in what we are trying to do. But as well, we have to be open and we have to analyze the game as it went.
I suppose one of the novelties of this period of fixtures, and in this case it's going to be a benefit for us, is that you're going to play so often. Does having another game as quickly as this Brighton game work well for you in terms of that mental process of just moving on and leaving that game in the past?
Yeah, every time you lose a football game, you want a revenge straight away, and that's what we want, myself, the staff, and the players. And we need to see how many players we have fit for the game, because it was a big hit losing 3 players in key areas that at the moment we are very short. But we have to adapt. We're going to have a lot of games. We're going to be playing every 3 days with the schedule that the Premier League has given us today. So it's going to be a challenge.
Thanks, Mikel.
If I can come next to Paul Gilmore at Sky.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi, Paul.
Mikel, has David Luiz played his last game for the club?
I don't know. I told you when I was talking to you guys last night that he's very open. He's a man. He's a leader, and I was sure that he was going to speak in front of everybody. You hear what he said. He was very direct with us too. That's what I value from him. That's what I like from him. But at least we need to be fair on him, and me personally, I'm gonna defend him with everything I have because I believe in him. He's shown me a lot of things in this time here, and his career speaks by itself.
You said as recently as Monday that he would be somebody who you value both on and off the pitch, as you've alluded to there. But if he does leave at the end of this month, is it fair to say that would be for more business reasons rather than personal?
Well, we cannot forget the financial situation and the way that COVID-19 has hit every club, and the economy in general is going to have an impact. What the club is doing at the moment is assess the situation and try to clarify a lot of uncertainties that we have in the future. And we have to make big decisions, but time-wise it's difficult to fit them in our needs. We are trying our best, the club is trying their best, and it's difficult sometimes because it puts the player or our sporting necessities in a difficult situation. But again, we have to adapt, is what it is, and that's why I wanted to protect David yesterday. That's why I didn't start him. But it's a funny game, and after 20 minutes you need him, and it's a player that has been with a lot of uncertainty in the last few weeks.
Kia Joorabchian suggested there are several issues in the club's whole structure at the moment. How much turbulence is there behind the scenes? What is a tough time for all businesses?
I think for all businesses in general, a lot of clubs are going to be in a lot of positions. Don't forget that we have accepted as well a pay cut, not only the players but the staff on board, to try to help the situation, which I think it was an incredible gesture of unity and commitment from everybody working at the football club that I'm very proud of. So there are consequences, when the people that are running the club are very responsible, and what they don't want to do is put the club in a difficult position. So in order to do that, let's analyze first how our finances are going to look like. We know that we have to improve, how we can improve it, and let's see what we can do to get the club to the position that deserves.
And just on Mesut Ozil, what was the specific tactical reason? Are you able to shed some light on that? And also, how did he take the decision?
I've been very open with Mesut from day one, and since I joined, and I thought that he was fit and he was willing and he wanted to perform at the level that he can do. He's played every game with me, I think. So that's it. The moment that I see that he is ready again to do that, I would treat him like anybody else. I think I've been more than fair with him, and I think he has responded in many games the way I want, and that's it.
Just a final one on that. Why was he not ready? Was it to do with any sort? You mentioned tactical. Why was he not ready to play?
No, it's a lot of happened to him in the last few weeks, and I have to respect the timing of every player that needs sometimes a little bit of time. It's been difficult preparation in the last 2 months to get players ready. And again, I'm the first one that wants Mesut at the best, and I want to put him on the pitch when I think he can give his best.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Mikel, just before we move on to the next question, can you just tilt your camera down a bit so you come up the screen a bit?
There?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. Right. Big build up for George, who had trouble last time. We had trouble too. So George Cummings from the BBC.
You got me, Mark, this time. Hello, Mikel.
Hi, George.
It's just on Mesut. I just wondered, how does he react when you tell him he's not playing? Does he get angry? Does he get upset? Does he ask you questions?
He was very, very well with me. There was no issues at all.
He doesn't, but does he say to you, why aren't I playing?
My conversation with Mesut, they're going to remain between him and me. What I can tell you is that it was completely fine, honest and clear conversation. That's it.
And in terms of this job you've taken on, you showed signs before the coronavirus that Arsenal had turned the corner. But have you found this job really difficult at times with the problems you've faced with Aubameyang and his contract and now David Luiz? It seems a lot of issues in your first job as a manager.
I cannot deny that it's been some big challenges in the way, but as well, I feel so privileged and honored to be in the position that I am. Every decision I'm going to make is to defend the club first, the best possible way, and then get the players on board and get their trust, get them behind me to believe on what I'm trying to do. And they seem very convinced. But yeah, we have a lot of rocks at the moment in our way. Last night we had a few more, but I am more convinced than ever. We had something against us, that is time. And in football, time is difficult to buy and patience is a little bit difficult to do. But I am convinced because I've seen it with my eyes on a daily basis, a process that it takes time and time and time. And the moment they pick it up, they're going to be flying. But yeah, we need a little bit of time because a lot of things happen more than we expected in this process. In the last, I've been here 5 months, I think, but we've been 3 months at home sitting, but time in football is difficult to buy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I bring in Adam from Premier League Productions?
Hi, Mikel.
Hello.
Just after last night, how do you see the picture at the top end of the table? What's it going to take for Arsenal to achieve their goals this season and finish in the top four? Have you still got the confidence you can do it?
I said before that we started after the virus and from a position that we still have a lot of teams in front of us and we have to go game by game. Last night is over. We have to learn from what happened. We have to analyze the game as it happened as well and be fair on our analysis. But you can see the difference and at the moment in the process and in terms of the squad. And that takes a little bit of time to get there, which I think in the first 35 minutes we competed really well and we were a threat and we make it very difficult to them. But at this level, the moment you give them something to that type of opposition, they're not gonna make any mistakes there. And it was clearly yesterday that that was happening. So from now on, game by game, still the same ambition is to win the next game, and that's it. And a lot of things are happening in between, and let's see what happens.
Just on the Brighton game at the weekend, obviously they won at the Emirates earlier in the season. They've still got the lingering threat of relegation. What's your assessment of Graham Potter's first experience in the Premier League as a manager?
I think he's changed completely the way Brighton plays. It sounds very convincing. I think the players are buying as well into what he's doing. They are a threat. They showed it at the Emirates that if you are not at it on the day, they're going to create a lot of issues. So we better be ready because it's going to be a really tough game for us.
Just finally, Eddie Nketiah obviously started the game. You've obviously got a lot of faith in him. What are you looking for from him? What do you need from him for the rest of the season? And how do you assess his development this season?
To keep doing what he's doing and the way he played last night against those players in those difficult conditions, for me, is extraordinary at his age. He has an immense personality to play, confidence. He's powerful. He's developing in every area, I think. And I have a lot of faith on him.
Do you think this situation that they're playing at the moment will help the younger players and their development, all of them?
Yes. The trick here is to get them with the right environment around them, and not to put too much pressure. We have a really young squad, a very inexperienced squad. And when you put that in certain parts of the pitch very close together, you can see that they have some deficits in the decision making. Is not always the right thing to do. But we are in a position that we have to accept certain things at the moment in there, probably more than we would like to because of the circumstances that we have. But at the same time, it's great, because it's a great value for them to have these kind of experiences and see themselves playing against that type of opposition.
Thanks, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. Can I bring in now Ian Abrahams from TalkSport, please?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi, Ian.
Hiya. You mentioned before the financial situation. Does that mean you don't think we'll see big transfer fees this summer? And what about players who want big contracts, the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang? Do you think that might be more difficult for clubs with this coronavirus situation?
Well, I think there is a lot of uncertainty on how the transfer market is going to look like. You hear very different things. People are going to go all in, people or clubs that are spending already a lot of money, and others that they've been much more conservative and wait and assess the situation before they move on. Our position at the moment is that we have to see, and we have to be cautious. And our ambition is still intact. And I know from the owners that their ambition is still intact as well. So we will try to do our best to improve the squad, maintain the players that we want to maintain, and move forward.
So you won't have to lose footballing talent on the pitch that you want to keep because the owners can't afford to keep it?
I don't know. Today I cannot answer to that, unfortunately, because there is too much uncertainty.
Finally, Brighton were one of the teams that really wanted to play home and away, not have neutral grounds. They were very insistent on that because their home form is normally very good. They get a lot of points at home, but that's because of their crowd. You've obviously played now once behind closed doors. You know what it's like, and they don't. Is it going to be a real leveller on Saturday? Or in fact, do you have the advantage because you've already played once in these very unusual conditions?
So I think to talk about advantages now is not very important. We are all adapting. The experience from last night is very, very strange. It's from the moment how you traveled, how you get to the stadium, the feelings that you have during warm-ups, during the game is completely different. So I think we are all adapting. We experienced yesterday. We can talk about things that are needed to raise our level of motivation as well and sustain that. But I don't think it's going to be a big issue.
Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks.